We're in the midst of the Fiesta de las Golondrinas, which means celebrating the return of the swallows from Goya, Argentina. Thursday, the swallows officially return to Mission San Juan Capistrano, which is St. Joseph's Day. On Saturday, the Fiesta Association puts on its 57th annual Swallows Day Parade. Good evening. You're listening to Collage, a weekly public affairs show on FM 88.5 KSBR. I'm Dawn Camber. Our guests are involved with the Fiesta Association. We have Publicity Chair Eric Bergstrom, Association President and Parade Chair David Fahler, also known as Grande Dave, and Ms. Fiesta 2015 Beverly Blake, and Senior San Juan Tom Scott. Well, Tom, please explain why we celebrate the return of the swallows.
We love our swallows in San Juan. In the 30s, maybe even the late 20s, people began to notice that the swallows returned at about the same time in the spring, and they had a little celebration as a part of a school carnival to recognize that. The idea was picked up by Father John Sullivan as he was restoring the old mission, and it's become a tradition in San Juan Capistrano to welcome the swallows in the spring as they return from Goya, Argentina, and also to wave farewell to them in the fall when they return to their summer home down in Argentina.
So what can we expect this Thursday?
This Thursday?
This Thursday is Fiesta Grande.
No, actually, Wednesday's Fiesta Grande. Thursday is the day of 19th when the Swallows gets back. That's what you're referring to, right, Don?
Oh.
Right. So Thursday, the Swallows officially return. I know a lot of eyes are going to be looking upward for the Swallows to make their way, but what actually occurs on that day?
Yeah, be careful. You might have to duck sometimes when you're looking up, so be careful there. Well, there's all kind. I mean, obviously, the tradition was that they returned to the mission, but now we find that the swallows are spread out a lot more throughout the county. In fact, even here at Saddleback College, you guys have tons of swallows coming here as well. But now they're nesting at freeway underpasses, and sometimes you'll find them at the Mission Viejo Mall. You'll find the swallows all over South Orange County, actually.
And Dave, I understand that the Fiesta Association celebrates the return of the swallows during the month of February and March.
Yes, it's the Fiesta de las Golondrinas, and it's a month-long celebration. It starts in February and goes through March. And it's really wonderful that we have this 57th annual parade for the celebration of those swallows.
And explain what's going to be happening as we lead up to the non-motorized parade, Eric.
Well, all the events leading up to it. We've just had a great season. We had a lot of great events already. We had the Taste of San Juan, which was a blast at San Juan Hills Golf Course. This last weekend, we just had the President Ball, or the El Presidente Ball at the Mission, and what a beautiful event. But coming up this week, we're going to have on Wednesday, Fiesta Grande. Now, that is not an event for kids, ladies and gentlemen. That is a lot of fun. It's held at Swallows Inn in San Juan Capistrano. And part of the events is, you guys can help me chime in. We've got the Soiled Dove contest there, the Hairiest Man contest. What else goes on there, Dave?
Well, that kind of started back in January when we had the sign-ups for the Hairiest Man contest, kind of a smooth puss contest, and you show up clean-shaven, you sign up to grow your beard for several weeks until Fiesta Grande, and the man with the longest beard from being clean-shaven back in January is the winner of the Hairiest Man contest. Then we also have existing beards, which actually I've won several times myself.
It's a magnificent beard, ladies and gentlemen. It's a shame this isn't TV.
So do people plan for that Hairiest Man contest to they don't shave, but they're prepared to let their hair just grow?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few wild characters showing up. We've got guys that show up looking like ZZ Top. I mean, for existing beards and so forth. It's also a mustache contest, and it's quite a hairy event. We also have, best hat, belt buckle, best Western dressed man, and the Soiled Dove contest. It comes along. Beverly could probably help out with that.
What is that?
Well, the Soiled Dove contest is where women dress up as saloon women, like a fallen dove. That's what a soiled dove is known as. We also have, and when people are trying to get attention to get the judges' votes, it can get a little frisky.
To say the least.
We also have best belt buckle contest, best hat contest. I won that one year with a hat that I had worn in Paris that my mother had made.
Now, Dave, the reason why you have a lot of these events is to raise money for the big event that's this Saturday.
Yes, we're a total nonprofit organization and 501c3, and we are all volunteer organization. We go out and get money from sponsors and a lot of our fundraisers. Most of our events leading up to the parade are fundraisers for putting on this year's parade.
Let's talk about this big event this Saturday.
This Saturday should be one of the most spectacular parades. We've got that new intersection at the Ortega Bridge there. It's really going to help our parade. It's a first turn into the parade, and as parade chairman, it was a concern that it would be done in time, and thank goodness it is. So we expect a large crowd, and we've got quite a few horses in our parade, as you well know. We've got over 500 horses. Close to 4,000 people marching on the ground. We've got quite a few bands, live bands, probably 13 bands, including the U.S. Military Marine Corps Band, which lead off our parade. Same military unit leads off the Rose Parade, so we're quite proud of that.
And it's a non-motorized parade. Explain that.
Non-motorized, we don't allow any cars of any kind, and no motors, no generators, so it's an equestrian parade. It comes from our heritage of the cowboys and ranches and how it all came from the past. And we're kind of educating the community on depicting our history of San Juan with the horses and everything.
Which is a good point on that, too. Because of that heritage, too, some of our major sponsors for this event, the Rancho Mission Viejo Company, that you're quite familiar with, is our title sponsor this year, along with the Portola Riders, who actually ride in the parade. And it's a group of distinguished gentlemen and women who are part of the Portola Riders, as well as Sycamore Trail Stables. So all of our major sponsors are also horse-related entities.
And the time of this parade?
The parade starts at 11 o'clock and runs for 2 hours till 1 p.m.
Well, actually, Don, I got to make a correction there. The parade starts when Tom Scott makes his magic elixir of Bloody Mary mix. Now, it's kind of top secret, and the location where that's created is really under wraps. But that, to me, is always when that parade starts.
Now, Beverly, understand that there's places where people can take a shuttle in.
Yes, there are places where people can park and take a shuttle in. That would be at the old fire station at El Horno and La Matanza. And I believe that is it Floor Corporation? No.
Fluid Master. They're a large corporation.
There's parking at Fluid Master on Rancho Viejo Road, and they can take the shuttle into town. The shuttles are running all day long.
2 locations, right, Dave?
Yes, up Rancho Viejo Road. If you would enter from Junipero Serra, would be easy access to those parking lots. So there's 2 or 3 parking lots along Rancho Viejo Road and anywhere legal in town to park. So some of the other shopping centers around town you'll see in Ralph's Center, Vaughn's Center, any legal spot, there's no towing going on that day so long as you're parked in a legal spot.
Now, you organize this parade year-round. Literally, I understand that when the parade is done, you take a touch of a break, and then you're organizing it again. Explain that.
Pretty much. It's kind of like the Rose Parade. Our floats in the parade are wagons, and at least we don't have to go out and build a float and decorate it with flowers like the Rose Parade does, but it is a lot of work because we are all volunteers. There's no one paid to do anything. So for next year's parade, I mean, we're already planning for the next year, but it's a lot of planning. There's a lot of hours by our volunteers put in. Our board members put in over 600 hours apiece, maybe more, and there's a lot of details, and I'm really proud of our volunteers.
And Eric, of course, a lot of fundraising that goes into this.
Wait a minute, I'm still stuck on that. There's no pay? Oh, geez. Oh, all this work.
But there's a lot of fundraising.
Yeah, there's a lot of fundraising. And the entire event, so when we date back all the way from our membership mixer in January, which we had, we want to get as many volunteers to join and be part of the Fiesta Association. And those funds go back to help what we do with the parade. The pet parade is another thing. We don't make a lot of money off the pet parade. I don't know if we've really made much. In in days past, some of these smaller events were how we funded the Swallows Day Parade, the Pet Parade or the Taste of San Juan. Some of those events would fund it. But now with some of our big major sponsors that we have, they really kind of make it a lot easier to put on the parade now for us.
But you have a big event this Friday in front of the parade.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all know about this one. What is it called, Dave?
Well, that's Huskow Day.
Oh.
So the tradition with that, if you weren't dressed cowboy or had a beard or something like that, then you would get arrested for being out of order on Huskow Day. Now, it's the day before the parade, Friday, so we're all over town starting about 9 a.m., and we have 2 roving jails with all of our volunteer deputies, and we go around and arrest everybody and throw them in our Huskow. In order to get out of the Huskow, you have to pay bail, and that's by one of our garters or a badge or a button or something to help promote and put on the parade. That's what it's all about, and it's a lot of fun. We have a huge turnout, and we fire guns in the air and everything, so it's quite a hoot.
Talk about the firing of the guns. They're not real guns.
Oh, yeah.
No, they're not real guns. They're blank firing guns, and we handle them very safely. We go through a strict gun safety check and order, and the Orange County Sheriff is there making sure we're all using the proper guns and proper ammunition. Actually, they're real blanks, so they're safe. They won't hurt anybody. There's no projectile being fired. They're just noisemakers.
And that's part of what makes San Juan Capistrano so great and unique of all the cities around is because we have these unique things going on where we have all these people dressed as cowboys firing guns in the air. What other town do you have a Senor San Juan and a Ms. Fiesta? None. Or what other town has a town matriarch or a town patriarch? San Juan Capistrano.
And Huskow Day is one of the most fun days in town. It's a lot more casual than the parade day because it's relatively unorganized. And people love to get dressed up and just walk around town and be a part of the town for Huskow Day.
It's a blast.
Now,
And the jail travels.
We'll bring the jail to you.
That's right. And it's even fun to get thrown in jail and get your picture taken.
well, I've been thrown in the jail, and luckily I had money to get out. But I'm also told that if you don't have money, even if you do have some money to get out, that sometimes they don't let you out.
And of course, the hanging judge is always there with the hangman's noose. So you've got to really be careful, or you'll be in big trouble.
Oh, that's another great tradition. We actually go in. They make a major proclamation in the city of San Juan, and we get to go in, bring the hanging judge in, and actually hang the mayor, which is, in some cities, I'm sure that would be a real treat.
The Fiesta Association, as Dave was telling us, they're all volunteers. Can you give us an idea of the demographics of your members in case people want to join for next year?
Most of our members are from San Juan Capistrano and the surrounding cities. From San Clemente, Laguna Niguel, Dana Point, Mission Viejo. We've got people coming from actually North Hollywood and even further reaches. They just love this parade.
Rancho Santa Margarita.
They're from all over Orange County, and a few from L.A. and a few from San Diego. So they love coming and volunteering and helping put on the parade. Our volunteers, we have a meeting every Wednesday leading up to the parade, and those are our core volunteers. But parade day, we've got a lot of extra volunteers that show up, and it's incredible how many people show up to volunteer that day, and we could always use more.
And on that day, explain how we know that they are indeed Fiesta members.
Oh.
Well, our uniform, I don't like to call it uniform, but our outfit is black and white. So you'll see our deputies in black jeans and boots with white shirts and a black vest and a black hat with a badge. And that's our Fiesta look. And, people really respect what we do. And we really welcome all the visitors to town and helping them educate to our history of our San Juan Capistrano.
Now, Tom, you were selected Senior San Juan 2015.
Senor.
Make sure you say senor.
Senor San Juan 2015. How were you selected?
Oh, that was kind of a fun thing. Beverly and I went to the barbecue, kind of the kickoff fundraiser, and we were just sitting quietly at a picnic table, eating a little bit of the wonderful barbecue that they had prepared.
Just to interject, that barbecue was held back in October. So after we've gone through the parade season of last year, we have a big party to say goodbye to the Swallows, and then that's when we name our senior.
And Dave Failer asked us to participate in the selection Senor San Juan and Ms. Fiesta. We talked about it just a little bit. Beverly and I are very busy with running the Camino Real Playhouse, shameless plug. But we go to so many events already, and so we decided that, well, let's see if we'll be selected. And we were by proclamation.
To their horror, they were selected.
It was by applause.
Yes, yeah.
And we were quite surprised.
Popularity contest.
It was
But it's a
definitely
lot of
popular
fun.
demand.
And on the Swallows Day, well, actually on Huskow Day and Swallows Day, you'll find Beverly and me walking around in our costumes and wearing a turquoise sash identifying us as Senor San Juan and Ms. Fiesta 2015.
Will you be on a float or on a horse?
Oh, that's one of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about with the parade. We have the honor of being in a special entry in the parade as Senor San Juan and Ms. Fiesta. But throughout the parade, there are many, many floats from organizations all over San Juan. It's so much fun to be in the parade, and it's a lot of fun, of course, to watch all of them, all horse-drawn or mule-drawn. It's a lot of fun. How many? I think you have 4 divisions this year. How many entries do we have in this event coming up?
We try to limit the parade to 2 hours, and so we squeeze in about 100 entrants. And
Well, last year, I believe there was 191. It went a little long, and there were some gaps in there. But this year, I think we're limiting it to 100 to 150, somewhere in that area. So about 2 to 2.5 hours.
well, that might get a little confusing only because each entrant, like a banner in front of an entry, is called an entry. So it looks like there's a bigger number than it is.
In case you just joined us, you are listening to Collage, a weekly public affairs show on FM 88.5 KSBR. I'm Dawn Camber. We're in the midst of the Fiesta de las Golondrinas, which means celebrating the return of the swallows from Goya, Argentina. Thursday, the swallows officially return to Mission San Juan Capistrano, which is St. Joseph's Day. And on Saturday, the Fiesta Association puts on its 57th annual Swallows Day Parade. Our guests are involved with the Fiesta Association. We have Publicity Chair Eric Bergstrom, Association President and Parade Chair David Failer, also known as Grande Dave, and Ms. Fiesta 2015 Beverly Blake, and Senor San Juan 2015 Tom Scott. Well, Eric, what can we expect this week? And what I want to know particularly is we have this Saturday is the big parade, but at the parade there's a mercado, which means that when you come into town, you want people to stay.
Well, I know you're well aware of this, Don, because you're one of our announcers at the parade and been doing that for quite a few years. So we have announcer stations all along the parade, which really kind of makes us a little bit more unique than most parades because you can hear it, feel it, and we have the best announcers, I think, out there for any parade. We have professional comedians, people from KSBR. We have all kinds of professional spokesman from the ranch is one of our announcers. So we have really top-notch announcers. But what can they expect at the Mercado is a blast. That is so much fun. We've got several live bands playing. There's food and vendor booths and music and dancing. And really the whole town is a party on Swallows Day. So you can march into one of our restaurants. There's live music over at Sarducci's. There's live music at El Adobe. There's live music at Fiano's. All the different restaurants. It is a glorious time. That whole week leading up is a great time for everybody out there in Orange County to visit San Juan Capistrano.
And one of the things that is going on during this week, Thursday through Saturday, is the last weekend of the annual Melodrama. The Camino Real Playhouse puts on a melodrama every year when the swallows return. And this is our final weekend. It has a hero and a villain and lots of music and dancing. And it's just a great time.
I love that
for
they tie
anybody.
that in. You guys tie that in with the Swallows Day Parade every year, and it
Every
ends on the
year.
same day, and people get to come and throw rocks at the bad guys.
That's right. We supply foam rocks for people to throw at our villain when they boo and hiss.
And it's community theater.
Yeah.
It is absolutely community theater, but it's community theater that's done first class.
And explain when you talk about where you're located and how people can get involved by watching this affair.
Oh, the parade?
The Melodrama. I'm interested in
Melodrama,
community
absolutely.
theater.
Yes, absolutely. Part of the community. We have tickets available on our website at CaminoRealPlayhouse.org. The Melodrama is just one of the many events that we have going on throughout the season. We also have a musical every spring. This year we'll be doing South Pacific. It's just, we're an ongoing, and we have stand-up comedy once a month. In fact, it's two of the parade announcers that produce our stand-up comedy.
Now, the parade itself literally is an opportunity to see a lot of organizations, nonprofit organizations in the parade. So, Grande Dave, I want you to kind of go over on what we can look forward to seeing in the parade this Saturday that starts at 11 o'clock in the morning in San Juan Capistrano.
An amazing amount of people and an amazing amount of horses, over 500 horses. The Portolas alone are a group of close to 80 or 100, I believe. I haven't done the final count on them just yet, but they're quite an impressive group, with all their same hats and the good look to them. It's a really good, strong force, and they have a history with San Juan. It's just incredible. The other organizations in the parade, we've got every kind of volunteer organization that's involved helping us out, from Boy Scouts to Girl Scouts all the way up through churches. And we've got all the different the organizations such as the Rotary Club and
a lot of
Go
the
ahead,
local
Robert.
businesses have floats in the parade or are walking in the parade, and many of the nonprofits in town.
What I find is, as an announcer, I announce with Garrison West in front of Marie Callender's, is that many kids like to see the different organizations they might want to join. And of course, a lot of the adults say there's a lot of organizations they wish they could have joined when they were young.
And probably one of my favorite, there's so many things going on, but one of my favorite things in the morning when you get there is the pancake breakfast over at the Women's Club. That's put on by the Rotary Club. And if you want a little piece of Americana, ladies and gentlemen, you got to make plans to go eat there early, go get some pancakes. I think they charge $5. The money goes back to Rotary, and all the guys from Rotary are in the back in the kitchen cooking the pancakes and the bacon and the sausage, and every once in a while, they'll break out in God Bless of America, and they're all singing it at the top of their lungs. The people eating pancakes will start singing, and then everybody applauds. We'll have Marines walk in, and everybody stands up and applauds them. It is a fun event.
Yes, I'd like to add, too, about the kids in our parade. There are so many children groups in our parade, and it's so fun to watch them. I also want to mention the Mission San Juan Capistrano, and Michelle has been such a great partner with us this year. And in the parade, the Mission actually has 3 or 4 entries themselves with the Mission Parish School and so forth, and they're just so cute. They're depicting the return of the swallows, and it's just so cute watching all those small children do all that. Speaking of children, at the Mercado, we also have in the park a kiddie area for jump houses and rides. We have a bubble thing to roll around in. That's quite fun and everything. Also on stage in the Mercado is where we give our awards for all the marching bands, and those kids just really go crazy when you get an award in a marching band, when you hear a couple hundred screaming kids, and I'm usually the one giving out their awards, and it's really fun getting them going.
And that's in historic Town Center Park, right? Yeah. Right in the middle of downtown.
Yeah.
It's in the historic It's
and right next to the Playhouse.
Say that again. It's
Historic Town Center Park, right next door to Camino Real Playhouse.
And how long will that be up and running?
Oh, that'll be running all day. Yeah, they start very early in the morning.
And when you think of San Juan Capistrano, I mean, we're talking about all these festivities that are occurring in San Juan Capistrano, and that have some of them have occurred, from January on. But when you think of San Juan Capistrano, how do you view the city?
Oh, the city is absolutely a wonderful place. Our equestrian heritage, of course, is the thing that folks always look to first. But the community in San Juan is just such a lovely place to live and to visit. When you're there, you feel like you know everybody. The businesses are so friendly. Excellent restaurants, beautiful shops, easy to walk around. The Mission, of course, is a popular destination. Los Rios District, the historic area there, is wonderful. But just walking around, take the architectural tour, which is a docent-led event around town and see all the beautiful houses.
And Eric, I'd
Wonderful,
like you to
wonderful restaurants.
You know, I'd like to mention too, in the last few years I've been in San Juan, I've really seen the restaurant quality improve. I mean, we've got a lot of new restaurants in town and very good quality restaurants. So come on down.
chime in, Eric.
Well, and everybody's mentioned the mission too. And again, I just have to thank Michelle Lawrence, who runs the mission, has bent over backwards to work with the Fiesta this year. And again, when we had the El Presidente ball there this last weekend, oh my God! I mean, she's done so many great things over the years to help the parade and Swallows Day and the city.
And when you think about the city, it's historic, and they try to maintain the flavor of the city.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. You're talking about what part of that?
I'm just talking about in generality. They have this Western heritage.
Oh, yeah.
And they're very careful with their planning and development.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. I mean, if you folks out there tour Los Rios Street, which is the oldest neighborhood in California. I mean, there's a lot of heritage. There's great old buildings back there. And there are people who are very serious about preserving the heritage of San Juan Capistrano, from our Historic Society to some of the folks like even Ilsa Burns, who have put many of our buildings on the National Registry of Historic Landmarks.
Now, you could tell Fiesta Association members have a lot of fun, obviously. They're here, they're having fun.
Heck yeah.
Doing this radio show and getting ready for this parade that's going to happen this Saturday. But how can people become members, Dave?
Well, show up at one of our events and knock on one of our shoulders and say, hey, how do I get to become a volunteer like you guys? So you can come to one of our meetings. Our meetings are on Wednesdays. We've only got, I think, well, that was...
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We're
parade.
Yeah. So actually, yeah.
So what you can do is you can go to our website, which is swallowsparade.org, and, punch through the buttons on there, and you can sign up and see how we put this whole parade together, all of our events that we've had, how we dress, who's on the board. It tells a lot of information about the Fiesta Association, and that's swallowsparade.org.
Yeah, and we're very proud. We just redesigned our whole website, so it's a lot more user-friendly, and a lot of these things you can do online, whether it's joining and becoming a member, getting a spot in the parade, getting a booth in the Mercado. This year, all that stuff is pretty much over. You can't do anything for that. We're pretty much sold out on everything, but for the next year and future years, that is a great place to go.
Now, this Friday is Huskow Day. Where should people go if they want to get stuck in a jail?
Well, anywhere in town.
It's kind of hard to
find you.
Kind of hard to avoid it.
We'll find you. You'll see us. Some of you'll probably avoid us. But anyway, we will be in front of the Swallows after about 1 o'clock, and we have a stationary jail there after 1 o'clock, and that's a real hoot. Well, popular spot. We'll also have a Huskow over at Mission Grill. Oh, by the way, last year was our first annual frog jumping contest. We didn't call it first annual last year because it was the inaugural one. So this year is going to be our second annual frog jumping contest, and that will be on Huskow Day at Mission Grill.
Explain
that was so much fun.
Explain that, please.
Well, I think it kind of started with what's the guy, the writer? Mark Twain. Yeah, that's right, Mark Twain. So it started back in Calaveras County, and he visited a frog jumping contest up there. So it's kind of funny. Our frogs last year were actually imported from their annual frog jumping contest. So we had secondhand frogs on our contest last year.
But they were there with their handlers, too, so it was an entire crew taking care of those lovely little frogs.
And it was such a popular event. People loved it.
We have sponsors that buy a frog and want to name the frog, like after their restaurant or something.
You have been listening to Collage, a weekly public affairs show on FM 88.5 KSBR. If you want information about the Swallows Day Parade, go to swallowsparade.org. I'm Dawn Camber. Our guests have been Fiesta Association, members of the Fiesta Association. We had Publicity Chair Eric Bergstrom, Association President and Parade Chair David Failer, also known as Grande Dave, and Ms. Fiesta 2015 Beverly Blake, and Senior San Juan 2015 Tom Scott. Please join us next week for another show right here on FM 88.5 KSBR.